Well, hi everybody. You got the Wingman here, and thank you for joining me today around this virtual campfire. I just tossed another log on it, so I appreciate you being with me. Today, I want to talk with you about something that has nothing to do directly with RVing and camping, but I think it has a lot to do with life in general and my perspective, some things that I see. If you are new to this channel, a special welcome to you. I'm a former campground owner, a lifelong lover of camping and hiking and hunting and fishing and RVing and anything to do with the outdoors, getting off the asphalt, so to speak. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn your notifications on and watch a few of my videos. Hopefully, you'll find a warm, welcoming environment, a pretty level-headed people. We don't agree on everything, and that's perfectly fine. But when we do disagree, we agree to disagree respectfully. All right, so I want to talk with you today about something I think that we oftentimes ignore, and it is the term carrying capacity. Carrying capacity, a natural carrying capacity. If you're into agriculture, livestock, for example, you can have it's a density. It's how much can the land hold in terms of livestock or trees or wildlife or whatever it happens to be. What is the natural carrying capacity of that hunk of dirt? In the Sahara Desert, how many acres would it take to raise one mouth of a cow? You probably couldn't. So the carrying capacity of that is very, very small. But if you had a lush garden of Eden with grass growing year round, lots of rain, the temperature's right, you'd have a high carrying capacity. The way and I'm going to tell you about a book here in a second that I want you to check out. If you find this topic to be interesting, I promise you the book is 10 times more interesting. But carrying capacity is the natural, before man gets in there and does anything with it, what will that land produce? What does man do to land? What have we humans done to land? I say, look at the TV show Yellowstone. You know, the beautiful Yellowstone out there in Montana. And if you look at it, you go, that is the most beautiful place ever. It's just gorgeous. It's rich. It's natural. But what happens when man goes out there? The first thing man does to the wilderness is we civilize the wilderness, which is not meant to be tamed, in my opinion. We can't pave the whole friggin' world. I think we need to stop paving. But what do? We go into a Yellowstone or a beautiful part of the country, say, man, we can make a lot of money here. And we don't care about the wildlife. We don't care about the minerals, the trees. We don't care about the rivers, the fish. We don't care about that. We care about ourselves and money. My God, we can make a subdivision here. Let's put some roads in. So you'd have a beautiful piece of property. And in that piece of property, you'd have birds and squirrels and deer and rabbits and all the plant and the fauna and everything growing up in that universe. But we decide to cut a road through it. And as soon as you provide access to it, what happens? That's going to lead to other problems. The animals are going to start getting hit on the roads. They are. The idiot hunters are going to come through there and go, I can shoot my dinner out of the truck. And they're going to shoot their dinner out of the truck. And the animals start going away and they start displacing that. And so then what happens? We need to make some more money. Hey, we could either lease it for grazing rights and then we put too damn many miles on it and destroy the fauna underneath. Or if we're a private landowner, we could turn this thing into ranchettes. Let's cut more roads through it. You know what else we could do? We could put fences up. Yeah, we can put fences up. We could block the migration routes, the natural routes for animals. Now, I know part of this is progress. I do. My ranch in Texas was in the hill country. And, you know, it's a beautiful place, but the hill country today does not look like it did 100 years ago. Why? Because landowners blew the carrying capacity. When you rape the environment, when you rape a small business, because you want to make money off of it, you rape it and it will never become the same. I'm going to draw a parallel with business here in just a second. If in the hill country of Texas, if you were to drive through there now, many places you look at and where's the grass? A bunch of rocks out there, little big, you know, just rocks. Looks like the surface of the moon. It didn't used to be that way. But our government used to have a program that would pay landowners for sheep and goat wool, the wool that came off of them. And so these farmers, ranchers, they want to make as much money as possible. So what do? They loaded their land with sheep and goats. Them Angora goats and the sheep, I mean, they make great wool. And they had warehouses literally in these small cities around Texas. They would have warehouses filled with this wool. And these landowners made a lot of money. Only problem is it destroyed the habitat. It did. Those goats and sheep ate everything, everything. And then they got up on their back legs and the leaves off the tree. If they could reach it, they ate it. And we're seeing the results. What happened after that? In the 50s, I think it was, mid to late 50s, if history serves me right, the government stopped their subsidy program. And they said, we're not going to pay you guys to for your wool anymore. And so what do the landowners do? You think they kept their sheep and goats? No, they got rid of them. They decided we're going to make money doing something else, but they destroyed the habitat. There are people now trying to bring that habitat back, but it takes a long, long time. In terms of business, here's the way I see corporations coming in. I'm going to use Camping World as an example. Camping World is a publicly traded company of the New York Stock Exchange. Their objective is not to sell RVs. It's not. Their objective, I believe, is to make money for their shareholders. And if they sell RVs, that's fine. But if they do it another way, that's fine too, as long as they make a profit. Camping World sees these small, independent mom and pop businesses that have been around forever, and they swoop in and they buy them. And there's nothing wrong with capitalism. But here's where I see they have exceeded the carrying capacity. And it's bad for the future of RVing. It's bad for the future of the people that participate in it. The people that own those small mom and pop businesses have typically been there for decades, generations. They worked hard. They don't make a lot of money, but they make a lot of friends. They've got a residual business, tremendous equity in the name. They've got a great employee base, loyal employees that will crawl, as they say, crawl over, broken glass to help them. And Camping World can come in and swoop in and say, hey, we can buy all that goodwill. Let's chisel them down on the price and come in and throw up a big American flag. And then we're going to start changing things. But we're going to change things to make it our way. And the culture of that business changes, just like the landscape of our environment changes. And if you say, well, that's okay, maybe it is okay to you. But to me, and I want to know, do you see this happening? Do you see that big corporations and development, there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance. We are taught, I think, as consumers in our country, that there are no limits. You want it, go buy it. So our garages are full of crap. Most of it we don't use. We've got storage buildings that are full of crap that we used to use. We may be planning on using it someday. And our credit cards they're maxed out, past the carrying capacity. So what do the banks do? They increase our limit, let us carry more. It's a burden. I envy people who are able to literally say, you know what? I ain't playing that game. I'm going to ditch everything unless I really, really need it. I'm going to get back to my natural carrying capacity and enjoy life. Because when you burden yourself financially, when you destroy a business in a community, you've destroyed the future of that community. Look at what Walmart did. Walmart, God, I'm guilty. I go to Walmart too, but I love those small cities, those small businesses and if I can support them, I'm going to. I think we need them. I think we need wild places. We need nature. We need for people to understand that there's a balance here. If there's not, why don't we just pave it all? Pave it all. I know that sounds ridiculous. There's a book that I read about, God, it was almost 20 years ago. I recommend you checking it out. It's called Collapse. The author was Jared Diamond. I read it when it was a book. Now you've got audio books, so you can get on Audible and you can subscribe and, Collapse by Jared Diamond. And it is a fascinating book. This guy, I don't know if he's still alive, but he was a college professor, and he would talk about how societies would come and go through time. Why would some cultures live and survive from, Polynesian islands and other ones? They would go away. Why is that? Well, let's just go ahead and die. They wouldn't even realize their own demise until it was too late. Can our country come on, bringing them in. Come, keep bringing them on in. We got plenty. We can divide it up. Shouldn't we be concerned? Well, that's a problem for the future. Well, yep, it's a problem for the future. And by God, we're dealing with it. I dealt with rocks all over my ranch. Did my very best to put watering stations and try to help the habitat to grow back. But it takes a long time to fix Mother Nature. Not very long to destroy it. So I wanted to talk about that, about carrying capacity. I think that we need to look at it in our own terms. We need to see big picture stuff. And kind of see that, and then turn it on ourselves and go, ooh, am I over my skis in debt? Am I going in the wrong direction? Do I have to really have that? Where can I scale back? How can I encourage my family to pace themselves? I see a very stressful future ahead for us. I think that we are in, as they say, the fourth turning. You can read all about it. There, I've turned into a reader. And if you have any special books, any favorite books that you've read recently, drop them in the comments below, because I love consuming books and thinking big picture. And it makes me more and more sad when I see the politicians, what they're doing, and encouraging us to do more. Be open-minded. Everything's okay. There's no rules. So you can have anything you want, unless it's tradition. Can't have tradition. Can't have traditional family values. You can be anything you want, but I digress. If you have never seen a video here on the channel, this is who I am. I'm opinionated. I know I'm ultra conservative and old fashioned. I know, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I try and be understanding, and maybe we will never agree, you and I. Maybe we will agree on some things, but I'm hopeful that you'll join me on a regular basis, or just check in from time to time and see what we're talking about around this virtual campfire. There's some mighty smart, wise people that comment, that watch this channel, that share concerns for the future, that believe that there are limits. There is a difference between good and bad. There is an evil out there, and that we are, hypnotized. We're brainwashed into thinking it's okay to live beyond our means. And maybe it is for a while, but eventually it all comes due. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully some of this got through to you. Check out that book called Collapse by Jared Diamond. I think you will enjoy it. In fact, I'm going to go grab it and I'm going to reread it, because it's been a while. But it's a stunning book that will help you to think and wonder. And the older I get, the more I love to wonder. All right, you're probably wondering, when am I going to get out of here? I'm going to get out of here right now. I'm Alan Warren. I am the Wingman, trying to guide you to people that you can trust, people of honor and integrity, and steer you away from trouble. If you'd like to contact me directly, you can either drop a comment below, which I don't respond to, or my email address and my voicemail is down below, and that's the fastest way to get a direct response from me. So again, thank you for watching. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.